Welcome back to Finnegan's Farm, welcome back to our YouTube channel and welcome back to our Workshop Wednesday. My name is Paul and this is our team.
Hello, I'm Marco, I love to weld. This is Bruce, this is Blake, them is two best to do.
Hello, I'm Mick and I'm the mechanic.
Hello, I'm Kaylem, I'm the other mechanic.
Don't forget to like, subscribe to the videos and comment what you want. Just put it in the comments list and we'll get back. In for repair today we have our John Deere 3040, we also have our John Deere 8430. We have our Volvo L60 and the boys are getting the ploughs, tillers all ready again for the next day. So we'll head over to Kaylem there. So quick update on the 3040 here. As you can see, some parts have arrived now. We hope everything is correct. We got exhaust box which we've yet to open. We think that's what's in the box here. Picked that up in John Conaty's, and not alone did we get the exhaust box, we also got two this for a 6910 on the mudguards there. They were all cracked. He knows them in the video and he sent them up. So fair play to these boys there. They're on a great show down there. Thanks to Kaylem and Steve and all the lads down there. I know them personally now at this stage. I'm up and down that often. But look, we're going to open this here and see that we have the correct. Right, Kaylem, take it out there and see what's the old one is here on the ground.
We need some assistance here. Just hold the box down there.
It's like Christmas time there, opening up the bits. Well packaged, was never going to get damaged anyway. This is the...
There you go.
Oh. No, you're right, this is the first time. Go on.
Make sure we are the same. Are we?
No, the bracket is there.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so that's exactly it. Brackets matching up, two holes, one there, your outlet here, and yeah.
Should not be as noisy now.
That's the only thing, it won't be as noisy and won't be as much fun now with that one, so they won't.
At least the smoke will be coming out the exhaust pipe rather than the bottom of it. So.
Now, the seat here, these are the seats that we got for the 3650s. In around, I think, the 600 mark, 620. We had a small bit of a problem there. The actual base on this is slightly wider than the base on the one in the 3040, the original one. But what we have done is you can, with the grinder there, Marco did take a slice off each side of it and it does sit down perfect, so it will fit it. Plus you have your air and you have seat belt and look at loads of gadgets on it. Now what else came was the heater valve.
Yeah, so this is a heater valve which was seized up, couldn't even get it to turn. And of course it was stuck in the cold position, so this time of year what you want hot air, not cold. So at least now we'll be able to get hot air into the cab and the PTO seals, and we still have to get our seal for arms and whatnot. But
yeah, so we have a bit of work to do on that. We just have been busy with other things and hopefully now it's a wet day today, so we'll get cracking on that. Anything else then regarding, I know the wires there, Mick was having some issues there. We might get him over here and just chat about the connections there. We'll say under the mudguard out to the side lights because they do get a little bit corrosive and it's just probably the position they're in and water flying up on that. So these are the connections of the back of the 3040. As you can see here we have...
Is that too bright?
Just hard to see them there.
See the corrosion? And I have cleaned or sprayed them good out. And even one there, the pin was busted in it. They're coming out of the back of the wing up in there. You can see where a wire's put in at the minute.
Yeah.
But that block gave me nightmares.
What are you going to do there? Just put
I just chop them out and put joiners in.
Put the joiners in, yeah.
Okay, if you take the lamp off, you cut them again, but that's nothing too major. Okay?
Okay, so we'll do that.
of course. Hello, Connor Nolan. Leave me alone, ring a nine.
So just to compare, we'll say Kaylem has the connections done on this tractor, which is the 3650. We completely rewired it. The differ compared to, we'll say, the 3040, which is similar, more or less.
Yeah, because even I'm using bullet connectors there, so all you'd have to do would be peel back small bit of the heat shrink, and you can plug them all in and out. So
you have them heat shrinked, you've tidied them up in there, and it's fab at the job anyway. At least you have a good connection on them, because it's just probably where they are. It's just not a great spot in it, but that should tidy them up. So we have a John Deere 8430 in for a little bit of a service. A few things to tidy up in it there. last week was a different issue, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Thanks so much to Darren Hubble. He decided to break down on top of a nice puddle of water.
Yeah, so there was only one spot on the field, one big hole in the field, and what happened?
He decided to stop on top of a big puddle.
And this is what happened.
Of course, the only way we could fix it was trying to float on pallets, so we had to get 2 pallets just to float. Sorry, no, it's not Alan's fault though, it's Darren Hubble's fault. Now, the conditions are a lot better than yesterday because the pallets were just borderline, but now the water levels are dropping a lot because it's fairly dry now. So you can see where we have to go just to do this one job. So it's only a little bit of a wet spot.
Nice, this is a pipe now after getting it. I think on an M27 fitting on one side and a M24 on the other, but a 2mm pitch. But
I'm dressed quite like a fisherman here now, ready to go fishing.
I have my new wellies.
This is the sort of fitting we had to get because we just had to make a flexi hose just to get us out of this hole of water anyway. But we'll make it work. We'll have to make it work. Right, we'll bring this in here now as to what we're looking at. So on this end here is where our pipe burst in through the transmission, and it comes back out just up here. So we have flexi hose made up just to try and get us out of this hobble. So we'll get fitting it up. Right, have the hose in one end. The hard hole is
Doing it at the bar.
exactly.
You want glasses?
I'm only going to poke out what I have to make. I'm going to try
Any
and...
bar?
No, I'll be alright for now. Right. At least we left the blanking cap on it.
That O-ring already on that fitting?
Yeah. I didn't get it dirty at all. I put the end through that had the cap on it. Hang on a minute there.
Will you not do it just straight there? Off that 90 degree, no? You don't know till we try it?
I'm not too sure what way the fittings or the arrangement of the adapters is, Mike. What we have is what we have, and that's it. The only thing we never brought was 1/2 inch 90 degree fittings, just in case. I'm not going to tighten up anything until I have it all lined up, because it'll let me...
That might work.
How's that O-ring?
The O-ring's still in it, yeah.
I should fucking see it'll be good enough. But I get along, Bar, and I pull that pipe out there, out of your way.
I'm trying to move it as least as I can. As to how can you get so badly covered in dust while
You need to
lying?
go in and push the back in, so yeah, a bit more. To the back. The fitting. The job going into the chassis, you need to go back. You're too, yeah, a bit better looking there. Fuck it, that's going to be tight. The pipe might pull.
I might need to just turn the flat. The flat is in the complete wrong spot for that.
What flat?
The flat of the fitting, the extent.
That's fairly tight as it is. But to maybe turn that up in inside then, Kaylem. Be out of the way there, wouldn't it?
Hold on, I just want to see where this actually goes tight. If it will work with us or
Very clear at the minute, yeah. Lift it up a touch. Yeah. That's it, isn't it?
Oh yes.
Now put the hose inside. Maybe turn that up a bit then. That'll bring it up well out of the way the radar. What size is that? 24, 27?
7, yeah.
I think we have that there. Do you want to tighten this outer one first?
Hold on. Further to, but it can't. Once it's kind of in line with that shaft at all, like it can go up there.
Yeah, leave it up there.
Yeah?
Yeah. We'll knock this outside one side. Do you want to tighten that first?
Yeah, I want to tighten it in place.
27.
There actually. So we're turned there, isn't it?
Pipe moving.
It clearly wasn't a simple fix, Kaylem, was it?
No, and we ended up having to take 2 trips out because we went up after 6 o'clock in the evening, so there was, of course, nothing we could do at that time.
Yeah.
So thankfully, you trip up to, what do we call them? IFM.
IFM, yeah.
IFM.
Thanks, guys. IFM. They're in Dunleer. Outside Dunleer there.
Happen to have the exact fittings needing it, M27 and M30.
No, we have a pipe ordered for it, but there is a lead time on it, isn't there?
Yeah, probably 4 or 5 days. And at the time, we're not going to leave it sitting out the plough on it.
Yeah,
so stuck.
So we just had to get it up and running. Come on, let's go find Marco. Come on, boys. Come on.
Hey, Brucie.
Here's where he's hiding.
Who gonna close door?
Huh?
Bruce. You was last.
Bruce can now actually open the door of the workshop. It's not head, Marco.
Oh, open to open, never close.
Never close it. Anyway, we have our Kverneland plough. I know some people pick me up on the Kverneland and Kverneland, but it is a Kverneland plough. We have it in. Marco's changing tips in it there. Just important now is to turn off your valves there, especially when you're working on something like that. So it's in for a complete refurb on metal, is it?
Yeah.
Tips, shares,
Tips,
skimmer
shares,
tips.
skimmers, yeah. This jumbie, just drop in, leave it.
A nice bit of a mess after him.
Oh.
I hope he's going to clean it up, is he?
Oh, jumbie, never clean.
Oh, what's the story with the styre here? See the styre now in it, the famous 8410 seems to be gone missing, is it?
Yeah, I think on the pins, them balls was...
A little bit of wear on them.
Yeah.
So you take them off and you fix them up. So we probably change that up later on, but you better have it right for him anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Because he will be giving out.
And this day now, lovely. This open shed is lovely. Not on the rain.
Well, Marco, you're a bit like a fisherman today, are you?
Oh, I'm fixing my nets in the wet day.
Go on, man, Marco. So we're here with the Volvo, the L60E. Bit of an issue there the other day. We were loading some straw away and for some reason then it just stopped. Paul's phone is ringing here, but do you want to answer that?
No, I'll go.
So I don't want to answer that. So we've Paul Porter. Now, Paul has been working on Volvo loading shovels for many years now?
Well, about 13.
About 13 years. He's a great experience on it and a good old head in him. So we give him a phone call to see, well, what could the issues be? Now, we had gone through a few bits. Mick and Kaylem had looked at electrical problems to see was electrical. We couldn't find anything. We then obviously we feared the worst and that maybe it might have been a transmission problem. But having said that, we said we bring it in. We asked Paul to come down. Even brought Alister with him here, who's the nephew. And we flew him all the way from
Australia.
From Australia. we flew him in all the way from Australia. So yeah, so you better be good. Yeah. Okay. So we just to see can we diagnose the problem. Now, first impressions when you got it in, the lads had kind of gone through, you know, the simple stuff that was gone, fuses and electrics and things like that. But you took the eye of the bung over there this morning on the torque converter, and
well, the first thing I noticed, the oil was so clean in her, and the bung there's a wee mark, there's like a wee bit of a spring on it,
yeah,
which wasn't really that much. I've seen it before in them, and I thought, doesn't look to be much going on in here in this transmission. Like if it's a converter away, you'd have a lot more stuff inside.
Yeah.
And I thought I'll take the sump off her. Drop the sump down and the big filter and underneath there's like a gauze. It was as clean as a whistle. And I says, I don't really think there's much wrong with this transmission. Like, why pull it all out and find nothing wrong with it?
Yeah.
You know, that'd be a telltale sign. First of all, once you pull it, once you let the oil and stuff out, like you should find bits and pieces in it if there's something going on in there.
Yeah.
And if I had seen a pile of stuff in there, the transmission would have come out.
Yeah.
So it makes you think, oh, there's something else going on this here. So I went through the valve block, checked the springs in it, and that's a selector block, and it seemed to be fine. And I went into the other block, where the relief valve is. Now I pulled it, a few springs out of it, or tried to get a spring out of it, and it wouldn't come, so I put it back together again. I just happened to get into her and felt her, she's biting at the gears.
Yeah.
So she says, so I have her going forward now.
Yeah, so it'll drive forward, but when we went to select the reverse, we still haven't sorted that out, but there's obviously something going on in there, in that valve block, whether it's a broken spring, because we did find a small little piece of a spring. Now, whether it's part of an existing spring, we just don't quite know yet, but we will get to the bottom of it, and we have the right man on the job here, so, well, we think we have anyway.
Well, I hope so.
We hope so, yeah. No, he's a great bit of knowledge there when it comes to Volvo trucks or the
But
Volvo trucks.
it's a bit of scratching on the head, and that's why I have no hair left, so it is, you know. But you have a scratch in your head sometimes.
Well, I don't know how high you've hair on my head, if that's the case. But yeah, look, we will get to the bottom of it there. We'll keep us updated there. Paul Porter was down. He was digging deep just to find out what was going on. Again, we brought Mick in on the job there just for a little bit of, I suppose, a little bit of help and a little bit of composure as well with it. And what did we find, Mick? We did actually find a problem. Bingo. So explain what you have here.
This unit, as far as I understand it, is a drive damper. When you select, if you're in forward and you select reverse, so it doesn't come in with a whack. And these pistons are in here. The springs go in first. These pistons are in. But if you look in there, that spring is wrecked. That's two springs. I've never seen that before in my life.
Here's more bits here.
Yeah, there's more around the floor probably. But if you look in here, the casing, see the chunk out. I don't know if people are playing the camera. There's a chunk gone out slightly. Look into it. It's a lump gone out of the casting. But that one of the pistons was jammed solid. The other one obviously wasn't being pressed, so he had no pressure in reverse. Strange, in forward, I think it was 70 psi in first, and then 200, 250 in second, third, and forward. But reverse, zero pressure. And then when he got that out, he was a happy camper.
Happy camper. So I suppose the good thing is that the torque converter is still very good in it, and we can see in there from the side of it, it looks to be perfect.
And as much as you can tell.
All the gears, and because the oil initially, when the oil came out of,
was spotless.
Was spotless.
Bar a little piece of one of them, we couldn't figure at the time where it came from.
Yeah, so hopefully now we will require a new part here, and this whole complete unit. We'll put it back in, and
that should.
Fingers
well,
crossed.
It's a nice, obvious fault.
Yeah,
which is.
Because it did take a number of hours here before we kind of found the problem, and it was bugging the lads here, but as usual, they stuck to the task. And
well, we can put it back in and see if it'll drive, but that has to be a problem.
Yeah, that's a bench.
The valve test come out of there. Where is it? It's here in the ground. That's the complete valve test. You just want to keep it clean. That your solenoids and all are there. Then there was another block behind that. I don't know where he has it. And then that unit was going into the transmission there. You can actually see the torque converter there. I don't know if Carl can pick it up. And then our gears. Now what gear it is, I don't know. It's drop down gear into the gearbox, let's see. And then our gearbox in there with our 1, 2, 3, 4 and forward and reverse. There's all your solenoids there for engaging. Anyway, happy days.
Happy days. Just a quick update now on the Volvo, the L60. We had a good few issues we had there. We brought it into the workshop, we no drive, thought it was initially transmission, which was the worst case scenario. Paul Porter came down, ex-Volvo mechanic, and he went through it there with Mick. Couldn't really see anything. Pinned it down as far down as probably the control valve here.
But before that we had it's a damper I think in the system.
Yep.
And all the springs were collapsed and that, and we said beautiful.
Yeah.
But I think we showed that already on the video.
Yeah, on the video there.
But then we went to this.
So we had to order a control valve now, not a cheap unit as you could well imagine. Took probably 3 weeks before it arrived here. Popped it onto it there the other day, and we had no second gear.
Yep, and no automatic.
And no automatic. So we thought maybe the control valve was faulty as well.
Because early on we wanted to try and borrow one off one that we knew was working.
Yeah.
Because we weren't sure whether this was the problem.
Yeah, they're not that familiar, they're not that popular, I should say, in any of the Volvos. They're just more for the L60s.
Yeah.
And
they're not that common. That's
so they're not common. So that was our problem. So reluctantly we took the new one Sunday. Well, we opened it to see that it had all its components, and it was missing one of these.
This one here.
And that spring is for number 2.
Well, presumably because it was strange. It was holding number 1 when you had it in number 2, which remember I told you it had to, but it didn't. Because John gave it a run and it was go up to 4 mile an hour on first, and he changed up to second. No change in speed, but it still had drive. And that threw me completely. Yeah. No, normally you'd expect it to dump the drive, and it didn't.
Yeah. So we put a spring into this or into the old.
Spring out with this one.
Into the old, into the new one, and to try that. Now all we've left here old is we still have the solenoid switch because it came part of the new unit. So we have spare solenoids and the control valve that we're not just quite sure. We reckon we have an internal crack somewhere, because sometimes you would get drive and then the next time it wouldn't drive, so we're really going our way. But really
gave us a right royal run
right run around now, to be honest. But hopefully now she'll still go.
Well, it did yesterday, so.
Yeah, anyway, we'll keep you updated on that.
With a wiper anyway.
Well, the wiper's working on it, Mick. Well, that's one thing. Now, whether it's drive or not is another. So, just going to bring it for a spin here. Hopefully now, park brake off, in gear. It should run on automatic as well. It's in the automatic mode here, so it should naturally go up through the gears. And there we go into
You're in F4.
F4 there, yeah. We're just careful here now, in case we run across some of the forklift drivers. Where's the horn on this?
Way over to your right and your right.
This side.
Arm right.
Just give it a blow here.
Yeah.
So, just going to check the first gear on it. So we're in first and in reverse. That's working perfect. We're going to second gear. Yeah, as you can see, it just takes up a little bit more speed and reverse. So finally, she's back up and running and everything seems to be 100%. So yeah, a bit of a brain teaser this one, but yeah, that's what you need in life too, guys. So now it's time for
Tips and tricks, tips and tricks.
So this week's tips and tricks, we have Mick here to show us this baby. Now, I think you have this a good few years as well. Tell us the history to this.
I bought it in Pete's in Parnell Street. They were an electronics crowd.
Yep.
I think they're long gone. But it's a very handy unit. It gives up to 5 amps. And if you want to test, it's safe, it's protected. You won't blow the living daylights out of something.
Yep.
I have a solenoid off the Volvo on here, just coincidence. And if I turn the power on there, watch here, that should shoot in. There we go. So we know that solenoid is okay. Okay, we can also test that solenoid using an ohm meter.
Yep.
You just hold it there. And I think this one's 45 ohms. You just see where we got there, 44, somewhere around that. Yeah.
44, yeah.
But you can't beat power on it and see it physically.
So it's a safe way of applying a power source
It's protected.
to protect it, to see if anything is working, to make sure that everything is in working order.
Yeah.
So, how old do you think it is, Mick, then?
No idea.
Mick, come on. 30 years.
Probably.
30 years again. I'll tell you one thing, you wouldn't know what Mick could have as up his sleeve. So, Mick's mystery tool last week was, yes, a terminal pin removal kit. As you can see, it's like a bunch of keys, and we had a few comments there to say there were keys for removing radios. They're not really.
They're too short.
They're too short, and they will not go in. The correct answers there, some of the comments came in, Gavin J. Asmer, and he loves the videos, Colin Sherlock, Richard Power, Farmer Rob, and Bob Crawford. There was plenty of other correct answers anyway. Them are the ones we picked out for today. So Mick is just going to explain how it works here. Now, it's probably easiest just with a...
If you look there, there's 2 lugs. When you push that in, they jam in the plastic and hold the pin into the block.
Yeah.
When you push that on, it compresses the 2 locking pins.
Which means
that can push through then.
You can remove it out.
Simple as that.
And there's so many different types of them.
Unreal. They're becoming a nightmare. The round ones are not too bad. It's when you get down to these.
More in the agricultural automotive, will there be
trucks,
everything.
Yeah. The common thing they call the Deutsch, something like that connector. It has them. So.
Right, another question there. Your calipers, what make is
someone asked me, I had it in my head, it was Mitsutaya. It's a Moore and Wright. Someone asked about it there. Brilliant caliper, long time.
And battery, how long will the battery last?
To be fair, I think it's second or third.
Oh, is it? It's only second or third.
When I found that,
Mick throws actually nothing away. He'll have all the bits from.
Oh, I'm dangerous that way.
He's dangerous. He's a hoarder.
I must have put batteries in it.
Yes, it does actually run the battery. Now this is my here. Look, no batteries required for this little baby. €2 on Amazon, and we got about 7 or 8 of them there just to have them in the workshop or even for the lads. Very, very handy tool for even in anyone's toolbox. Now, obviously they won't withstand a bit of heat around like that, but still very accurate. If guys wanted to take a measurement then and send it back to us then, rather than a tape, you can't.
Particularly for bearings and houses.
Yeah, for bearings and houses. That's what we. So we have a couple in the works trailer and we have a couple in the €2. And if they get lost, it's not the end of the world because that's what would happen here. But yeah, handy little one to have. So this week's mystery tool is this little baby. Now just get a good look at there, Cahill. You can get on the camera. Because when Mick showed me, I had absolutely not a clue until he showed me actually how it works. So the best of luck with this one, lads. And remember now, get the comments in early and no copying, do your homework, and let's see how good you are this week.
And hopefully you won't find this one on Google.
So that's it for this week's Workshop Wednesday. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the videos there, comment what you want, and we will get back to you. So from everyone here at Finnegan's Farm, we'll talk to you all next Wednesday.